Hi everyone, Nesu Art here. I draw for fun and I make videos for fun. And today I want to talk about ReZero episode 8. Okay. I have, usually when I watch these episodes, right, I usually just jot down a few things. Not too much, just a few things here and there. I have 7 pages worth of writing because this episode was just, it was a bit much for me. I won't lie to you. Let's just get into it. So Ram comments that Subaru is a bit too composed, and that considering he's been captured for about 3 days, and he says, "Oh yeah, I had a good laugh," obviously referring back to the previous episode when him and Otto were laughing about them being friends. So then we cut to Subaru confronting Roswell about Betty, and Subaru's asking, is she with the witch's cult? Which Roswell says, no, she's not. The book that she has isn't a gospel, is a book that tells the true future, emphasis on the term true. So then he says that there are 2 of these books, right, that are the true future. So Betty calls it a gospel because there's no official name. Okay, and there are defective ones, which are like the ones that I forget his name. I think his name is like Bluebeard. That's his nickname. Bluebeard had a defective one, so that was telling one possible future, which probably led to Subaru's bad end. Implying that there are multiple bad ends for Subaru, the multiple timelines, blah blah blah. So Roswell asks Subaru to say to Beatrice. Roswell said to ask, and then Subaru has to answer to Beatrice, I am that person. So that apparently saying that will get Beatrice on Subaru's side. So then we, oh my goodness, bro, that part lasted 5 minutes, right? And the tension was high there. And that was just the start of the episode, okay? So then Subaru's like, he starts walking away, right? And then he says, how can you be so sure? No, he doesn't walk away yet. What happens is he says, how can you be so sure? And then Roswell is like, oh, it's in her contract. And I'm like, contract, what? So then Subaru's like, if this fails, I will punch you in the face. That I promise. And then when he said that, I was like, yes, boy. Yes. I'm tired of this Riddler business shenanigans stuff, okay? You're not the Riddler. You're not in DC. You're not Batman's enemy, okay? You're supposed to be Subaru's ally. Stop with the riddles. Tell it straight, you annoying guy. Anyway, so then he's like, oh, and by the way, Subaru, you can't be saying, oh yeah, I'll make sure to punch you in the face, because Ram will end you. I'm not joking. She will end you. Anyway, Roswell is like, once Betty hears this, she will help out with the sanctuary situation. I was like, yeah, bet. Watch what happens, man. Anyway, so then Subaru walks away. This time, now he walks away. And he says, he turns like half to Roswell, right? And he questions him straight up, are you our enemy? And then obviously Roswell is like taken aback slightly. And then he's smiling. He's like, nah, I'm an ally to all. I'm like KID yourself. You liar. I know you telling lies and porcupines, whatever. Point is, he's lying. I know it. I don't like him. Anyway, Subaru, he convinces Rem to come, to leave a sanctuary to come with him to deal with Elsa. So then I'm like, nah, man, Subaru, I'm rooting for you right now because stuff's gonna go down. No, when I was watching this, I was like, nah, I'm rooting for you because of all the stuff that you've been through. But upon watching this, I'm like, no, I'm rooting you for what's to come, my friend. Anyway, so they're talking in the forest, Otto, Rem, and Subaru. And then Gar starts talking like, okay, picture this, right? I'm in my room watching this in the dark, right? The blinds are down. I don't want no light coming in. The only light is coming from my phone, okay? And then Gar starts talking. Now, if this was in the light, I'd be like, oh, the voice of Bakugo. But because this is in the dark, and I'm scared for Subaru's life, even though he can come back, I'm still scared for his life, right? So then Gar starts talking. I'm like, oh, okay, so he's here. And, like, I'm so scared my hit points are going down. That's how scared I am. So anyway, Rem tries to sweet talk Gar into... I'm saying Gar, it's Garfield. Garfield. So anyway, what's it? She tries to sweet talk him into, you know, letting Subaru leave. And he does calm down a bit, but then Subaru starts talking to him. And I'm like, what are you doing, you idiot? You know he doesn't like you. So obviously this gets Gar angry again. And he says something like, Hoshin was Baron's sunset. I don't know what that's about. So then, Gar brings this up. And apparently it's to do with a small trader who came to... a small trader named Hoshin that brought a small nation to ruin. Okay, whatever. And whatever's going wrong, I'm confused right now. I don't know what this is about. But Subaru has two options: surrender or face an all-out attack. I'm like, all-out attack? What's this? Freaking Persona? What?
I've been waiting for this. Okay, now.
Akiko. Anyway, we have too much to get through. I can't be doing these jokes. So then, I'm just thinking to myself, Gar is unchecked right now. He's fully mad. He just doesn't care. Ram is in his way. He will bulldoze her. I'll come back to that one. He doesn't care what Roswald thinks. Low-key, I think he hates Roswald because of the weird situation that him and Ram have. Like, I feel like people outside can tell, or maybe he's like seen them like once because obviously she's his attendant. So obviously, I'm sure Garfield was walking by one time and he saw them, you know, being weird together. So obviously, that's got him like hating on Roswald ever since. And he's so mad, he swings his hand like that and hits a tree. I'm like, the tree splits in half, by the way. It like just falls, like he's chopped it down with an axe, but it wasn't an axe, it was his fist. I'm like, oh, okay, it's going down. So they try to escape. Ram is facing Garfield one-on-one. Otto and Subaru are just leaving on the ground dragon. So then Otto whistles, letting all the villagers who are in Sanctuary light the way for Subaru to escape. And I'm like, this is a bit crazy. This is kind of crazy still. So then there's a massive roar that happens, which like bulldozes things everywhere. And I'm thinking, okay, where's Ram? So then Gar appears as a huge tiger beast. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm sure Ram was dealt with. So then Subaru offers to, he offers himself to Gar. And I think he knows full well that Gar is just going to end him with one hit. So he's like, okay, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this one hit. We'll finish this. We'll reset. So then Otto, he comes in and saves Subaru. I'm like, Otto, what are you doing? And he gets split in half. I'm like, oh, okay. It's like that now, is it? It's going to move this fast? Okay, cool. Anyway, so I'm like, seriously, where's Ram? Anyway, so yeah, just add that to the list of things that Subaru needs therapy for. This isn't even a joke. I'm serious. Subaru needs help, bro. Oh my goodness. So then the villagers start coming out. And they're throwing rocks at Gar. They're throwing sticks at Gar. I'm like, are you mad? You saw what he did to Otto. You were all there. So now you want to take on this beast. Oh, okay, cool. Let's see how that ends out. Smash, smash, smash. They splat everywhere, okay? And Subaru is watching this. He's like, no, stop. Let him come for me. But no, they don't let it happen. So then the Grand Dragon... even like the Grand Dragon even gets Subaru by the neck, throws him out of Sanctuary. So they're all left there, and obviously Gar he gets to the Grand Dragon, smashes that, and then gone splat. Brilliant. So then Subaru. Oh my goodness. So then the amulet that's around Subaru's neck, the blue one, it teleports him to, like, I think he's in the prison he was in before. And he starts walking out. And it's snowing. So I'm like, okay, ReZero, snow. This isn't going to end well. Anyway, so the village is empty. So I'm like, okay, empty village. Okay, snow. I don't like this. These two things should not be together. Anyway, so then Subaru sees a creature that looks like a rabbit. And I'm like, okay, first of all, Subaru, that just because it looks like a rabbit doesn't mean it is a rabbit. It's most likely not what you think it is. As you damn well know, you've been in this world for how long? And you want to go and put your hand towards what you think is a rabbit, only for it to bite his hand off. I'm like, oh, well, I was expecting that, but at the same time, I wasn't expecting that. So, as you may well know, he's screaming in pain. And you can see the rabbit is still biting on the finger. Like, the hand comes clean off, right? But then the rabbit is still chewing on a finger. I'm like, okay, very pleasant. So then Subaru's screaming, and then his leg comes off as well. I'm like, what? What is going on? And then we see that there are millions of these rabbits. So I'm like, okay, these rabbits probably took out all the villagers, including Roswald and Ram, and probably even Garfield, whatever. I'm like, what? Why? Why is this happening to him? So then Subaru is just like, they all come for him, right? And they're all mauling at him. I'm like, wow, ReZero, we're gonna go there. Okay, calm. And the worst part is you can still hear this man screaming. I'm like, please, don't be doing it like that. And then it resets. I'm like, okay, right. Well, after watching that, I can only imagine the pain. Not really. Yeah, Subaru, what you're going to do is, my friend, you're going to up and leave Sanctuary. Don't talk to no one, because all these man sus as. Just go. Talk to Beatrice, tell her, yeah, I'm that guy, and then come back and then do bits. Don't be saying to freaking, what's her name? Amelia, oh, I believe in you, this, that, and the other, only for Garfield to find you suspicious and then say, no, let's do this all again. No, bro, no, let's not do that. So anyway, what's it? So Subaru's like, he's touching his hands, he's touching his head, he's like, oh, I'm fine, like, he's realizing that he's fine, but then he's like, why? So then he starts hitting his head repeatedly on the ground. Blood is coming from his head, that's how hard he's hitting it, and he's like, why? I'm like, yes, I agree with you, why does this keep happening to you, bro? Anyway, so then, this constantly happens, only for Echidna in the background to be like, oh, you've been given permission to come to the tea party. I'm like, okay, cool. Anyway, so then Subaru, he teleports to the tea party, and he's in the fields and the grass, and Echidna is just there under the umbrella, and he's like, yo, why am I so calm? I was banging my head and there was blood everywhere just a few seconds ago. Why am I calm now? And then Echidna's like, oh yeah, that's because the tea I gave you affected the sloth witch factor. It encourages stability. If not for that, apparently his soul would crush to pieces. So I'm like, oh, okay, Thorka. So then Echidna is like, where's my gratitude? Which is that I was like, bruh, why are you so cute? So then Subaru asks Echidna, I want to overwrite this vow so I can remember you. And then Echidna starts blushing. And then I'm thinking to myself, I don't think that's a good idea. What's his name? Garfield can already smell the miasma from you already. Probably removing, making sure that you forget is probably a failsafe so that you don't smell even more of miasma, so that people can come after you, and monsters, because remember, monsters like the smell of your miasma, you idiot. Anyway, so, he wants to remove the vow, and he says he'll pay any price. You probably should not have said that. She blushes and accepts. Subaru drinks the tea. To which she then replies, how are you even drinking my bodily... No, she's like, now you're even drinking my bodily fluids. I was like, bruh, really? You done that? You're still on that? No, she's too funny. So then Subaru spits it out, obviously, after hearing that. And then she's like, where's my thanks again? She's like, where's my gratitude? And then Subaru's like, yeah, thanks for making this nasty tea, you witch. And then she's like, saying that kind of stuff wounds a maiden's heart. I'm like, please stop it. Anyway, Subaru is like, you definitely know something is up with me. Because, you know, with all the stuff that happened, come on now, you definitely know something is up. So then Echidna is like, okay, test me then. So then Subaru hesitates, obviously, because when he tells people that he has returned by death, they end up dying, like he did with Amelia. He tried to tell her. He told her, and she died. So I'm thinking to myself, it's not that deep if you tell Echidna, because she's already dead. Remember, this is the witch's graveyard you're in. She's already dead. You can tell her. But obviously, Subaru doesn't clock this. And he says you might not have time to regret what you're saying. And I'm like, bro, really? Seriously? She told you this is the witch's graveyard. She told you she's dead. You're talking to a ghost. You know that, right? Anyway, so then he says, when I die, I come back. And he's surprised that she's fine. I'm like, yeah, of course. And then she says, he says it again. When I die, I restart the world. Of course, she's fine. So then he keeps shouting this repeatedly. She's like, whoa, calm down. He's still shouting, when I die, I come back. When I die, I come back. I'm starting to feel for the guy. I'm like, oh my goodness, bro. Like chill, just a little bit. Like, I get that you've been alone all this time, but like, hey, I'm starting to feel things. Let's chill a bit. So then he breaks down and starts crying. And I'm like, okay, I don't blame you, considering. So then she's like, I know. And she starts patting his head. And then I'm like, Echidna, why are you trying to fill the role that Amelia should be doing right now? Because Rem obviously can't fill this role. So Amelia was supposed to be doing it. Amelia hasn't been doing it because she's been too busy like, with me. Whatever, Amelia. Okay, my bro has to keep dying. Someone needs to talk to him. My goodness. So then Echidna is like, I know I've been watching all this time. All I can do is watch. So tell me how you've been feeling. I want to know. As the Witch of Greed, I have to know everything. I'm like, yo, come on now. So are you telling me in the opening where that girl comes in and hugs Subaru, that wasn't Amelia? Was that Echidna? Is that what's going on? Is that... Anyway, so then, okay, the episode ends there. And then obviously I came back here and started recording. Yeah, wow, that was a really good episode. Oh boy, I can't deal with it. ReZero is just so good. I need more people. I need more friends that watch it to talk to me. Anyway, yeah, that's the end of this hectic video. Hope you liked it. Please like and subscribe. Follow me at nesu.art on Instagram. And yeah, goodbye.